by ground, and we can see this BCC is a very good feeling team despite drop catch that we have just witnessed not too long ago. Whoa! Umpire is in trouble. This is not good. I'm a nurse. I gotta run. Get me some ice. Roll over. Roll over. Don't leave it. Lead up. Roll over. Roll over. Roll over. All right. Somebody keep him elevated.
The job of a nurse is not easy, but it's a job that you're well needed in community, not just the hospital, but wherever you are, anything can happen at any given time, emergency. And I just want to give God thanks for this professional field that He have allowed me to venture into. Our, blessings and thanks to my wife who have encouraged me to do this. Thanks to everyone, a team that have supported me over the years, allowed me, to go through nursing school, support me, workplace, the help, and just giving me the opportunity to work St. Mary's Medical Center. Hats off to you. My trauma team there, St. Mary's, my med-surg team, my tele team, pick up yourself. And Jackson Memorial Hospital, you also given me the opportunity to work right across from your ER to your med-surg, to your tele, to your ER, your trauma team again. Big up Jackson, Good Samaritan. Want to say thanks for allowing me also to be a part of the Tenet team. South County Mental Health, where I've worked also as a psych nurse. Big up yourself. Encompass Health, which have also allowed me to get in some of the skills in terms of orthopedics and caring for people with broken bones. It's a rehabilitation hospital. Thanks for all the gifts that you have offered me in terms of the learning process. I just want to give shout out to that institution also, Encompass Health. Boynton Beach, pick up yourself. Out there also, work there too. So just want to say, it's a very good field to be in that every day you're going to live your life helping others. Every day you show up, you don't know what to expect, what is going to happen next. As a nurse, I've seen a lot. I've cared for patients from just regular pain to losing a limb. But the worst part of it is when you see somebody who lost their life. And working trauma, I think, is one of the toughest areas I've worked, in that you have a healthy individual just going about their life, and all in a sudden, in the blink of an eye, their life could have changed. And if you look at what happened today, in the split of a second, somebody's life could have changed. It could have been more severe, and those are some of the things that happen, in the minutes, in the second. And then that's one of the reasons why I tell people out there that, we got to live our life and live our best life, because you never know what today or tomorrow may bring. And it's always good about planning, because when you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, guys, you want to live today as it is the last, but you also want to prepare yourself just in case anything happens. And that may be going from just making a will, while you're young, instead of having people fighting over your stuff. And at one point I was fearful of debt. I couldn't talk about debt. My wife, as I said, is a nurse for many years. And whenever it comes to the situation about debt, and she's talking about making preparation, insurance, will, what is, what you want to do, where you want to bury, and all these things, I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. But really and truly, guys, it's a topic that we have to talk about. It's something, because debt, they said, is basically a promise to every man. And I was talking earlier about life and death, in that if you're not growing, then you're a dead man. And I don't care which area it is in life, you should be growing, whether it's your health, to better your health, if even to be better at your game, at your profession, at your career, and just keep striving for better. But you know, we realize what is happening here. The game has stopped for a minute as the ambulance is still out here, and as you can see, the BCC team is gathered. They're still in their meeting. They still want to win. Palm Beach team is still here, but what happened is really that accident where the ball was driven with force back at the bowler. The umpire, you know, he stands directly over the stump, so he did not get the flush hit from the ball, which it looks that way from this side. What happened? It deflected and it hit him straight in the face, just below the eye. And you know, I was able to run out there. You know, went through the basic, the A, B, and the C's in terms of nursing and assessment. Did what I have to do, you know, elevate him, ensure that he was not bleeding back, you know, and it's going down to through his throat, you know, where it could suffocate him, you know, drown out yourself basically. You know, so I make sure he was elevated, he was stable. And it's in an injury, guys, you don't want to be moving around people too much, especially when they have a head concussion or head injury, or even someone just in a motor vehicle accident, C-spine injury. Sometimes by just moving them around, you cause more damage than good. So it's best to get them to a position, keep them still, and allow the team to come on in. So it is serious, guys. You know, nursing is an art, it's a craft, it's a profession that you gotta be on your sharpest mindset. You know, there's life at stake in nursing, and that's why we have to big up all our nurses from all over the world. As nursing, they don't get the respect that they're supposed to, but they definitely do a great job in terms of what they do on a daily basis, and I take my hats off to all the nurses out there. So we have a little pause in the cricket, you know, as Sam would say. I hope he's okay. Guys, if you're hearing me, could you just text in? I'm not sure if my not my mic, but my little headpiece or earpiece went offline. It's back online. I'm not sure. If you're able to hear me, you could just type in a yes, or I'm hearing you. But as you can see, guys, we still have the ambulance on the field as the umpire has gotten injured. A ball was struck right back at him. He was unable to get out the way. All right, Sam, thank you very much. You've been faithful. Ardley Watson, thanks. You've been faithful, you know. And umpire, I said he got a nasty blow. He took it, but as I said, it was not flush, and that's probably the best thing could have happened, is that it was deflected. I'm not sure if it's from the bowler's fingers or what, or his own finger, but there was a form of deflection that take off some of the pace off the ball. That ball was traveling to him just as lightning. It was hit with great force, and as a matter of fact, you know, he got hit under the eye. However, you know, I was able to stop the bleeding, you know, thanks to the team, whoever ran and brought out ice. You know, ice is very important. You can really stop the bleeding. It also can stop the swelling. So I was able to stop the bleeding with ice and a little compression. You know, he had a rag with him. You know, may not be the cleanest, but at least sometime in the event, you know, it's what you have to do with what you have. And I was able to put some compression on it, you know, along with a little ice, you know, just to stop the bleeding, because it's important that we stop the bleeding. Someone could bleed out for death. As you know, if you were watching and you were here, you'd have seen the time, how long it took for the ambulance to actually get here and to get to him. You know, that's a long time, and if you don't stop the bleeding in that time frame, then it can lead to greater injury, because when you're losing blood, it's not a good thing, especially if you're losing blood and you're not sure where it's going. If you're breathing through his nose, down his throat, you know, you can suffocate also. Oxygen, guys, again, is another very important thing in injuries and situation like this. You want to make sure you keep the airway clear. Simple mean the airway should be clear. Make sure he's breathing. So those are some of the questions that you may hear me asking him, if he's okay. You know, take deep breaths in and out. You know, those are some of the things that you have to make sure, you know, you get going. Even with the incident, you don't want to have too much crowding. You know, people basically stopping the flow of free oxygen. Oxygen is free to all of us. It's right out here in the atmosphere, and that's why I always strive to tell people to take care of their health. You know, oxygen on a whole, it is free out here. I hate to see when you come into the hospital where you have to pay for it. You know, and a lot of these sickness and illness that we go through is something that we can prevent, but yet still we pay all the attention to others, to people, to jobs, all these stuff, unless we neglect ourselves. You know, we neglect ourselves in the process, and that's never a good thing to do. I tell you, without you, nothing else can happen. You know, it takes you to do everything. So why not invest in the greater self, which is you? Take care of yourself, you know.